Maybe I shouldn't have Holy Mother next to me for this one, or St. Paul. Yeah, you might be proud of me. They love me as I am, yeah? At this point, it's been like, what, 10 years of these remakes? Why are we still watching them? Guys, okay? I've been pretty much done with these live action remakes. I've suffered enough. I have. Every single one of these adaptations, none of them have respect for the source material. They also add no value to the original story. They piss off the exact audience they're depending on to watch it. And then somehow, no matter how loudly everyone tells them that we hate it, they make 12 more. It's not about whether live action remakes suck. We know they suck. So at this point, the question now is, what are we, as an audience, supposed to do about it? Genuinely. Like, I'm starting to believe that our hate watching and our reaction videos and like this endless online discourse is actually feeding the exact machine that we're trying to destroy. And I don't know what the perfect answer is. I don't. But I do know that studios cannot tell the difference between a view and a hate watch. It's not like they get less money if we hate watch versus regular watch. Like, no, a view is a view. Money spends the same. And I love these stories. That is why this pisses me off. An adaptation should change or expand things. Add something. Give me a new perspective. Expand the world. Show me something animation couldn't show me because in that specific medium, it couldn't show that to me. Like, this is why I can defend some of the earlier remakes. Maleficent, in the early days, at least had a clear idea. It took a villain and it reframed the entire story through her perspective. And I actually enjoyed it a lot. I did. Whether you loved every choice or not, it offered something new. Cinderella took original themes very seriously. It wasn't embarrassed by kindness. It wasn't desperately trying to convince us that Cinderella was some renegade. She was kind, she was courageous, and the movie let that be enough. That movie was very powerful for me. I loved that movie. The Jungle Book added a different twist to the story as well. So those movies had some form of creative justification beyond, oh, people recognize this intellectual property. Quick, find a great actor and let's make that sucker. But now the entire sales pitch appears to be, remember this thing that you love? Well, here it is, but way worse with less color and kind of terrifying if you look at it for too long.
Christ, this character design, seriously? Ew! It's still shocking. Even though they keep doing this, it's still genuinely shocking just how disgusting it is. How can you make something less appealing for a child audience? Who is the one fucking psycho working at Disney that keeps insisting that it needs to be this way? Who are they? It's gotta be like one guy, right? No, it has to be like super realistic, bro. The kids are gonna love this.
I had to step away from Star Wars because it genuinely damaging my relationship with characters that I already loved, that I already knew. It wasn't fun for me. I was not excited when a new project was announced. I felt dread and a little bit of physical pain and nausea and indigestion. I would see a poster for another series and immediately think, oh dear God, why? And how are they gonna ruin my favorite character? And strangely, stepping away actually helped. It did, because loving a story does not mean that you are obligated to consume every piece of content a corporation attaches its logo to. We are allowed to say, and you're allowed to say, for me, the story ended here when George Lucas sold it to you. You're allowed to reject the new canon. You are allowed to categorize the entire thing as an extremely expensive fan fiction. And don't even get me started, okay, with Netflix's Avatar the Last Airbender and the fact that the original creators left. I wonder why. Because I love the original series. I wanted the adaptation to find its footing. Then season 2 happened. And now I completely understand why the original creators left. And honestly, if they would have deleted themselves, I would have understood. It's like the show is some ChatGPT version of what are the most trending things about Avatar the Last Airbender that we need to include in our show. They're not telling a story. They're checking off boxes and then just trying to retrofit it all into this weird Frankenstein version so it's somewhat recognizable for us, okay? So essentially you reproduce the imagery, congratulations. Did you reproduce the meaning? Because the character standing in the correct location saying a line that references something that fans recognize is not the same as telling the story well. It's not. And one of the most frustrating things about modern adaptations is that they seem terrified of allowing an audience to understand anything on their own. Every emotion has to be explained painfully. Okay, painfully explained to your face 50 times in case you're scrolling on Twitter or X or whatever it's called now. Every flaw has to be introduced with an accompanying PowerPoint, and they're gonna bring it up for the next 6 episodes. So don't you worry if you miss it, they're gonna bring it up 10 more times, okay? Every single character has to announce exactly who they are, what lesson they will learn before they've learned it. Shut the hell up. Shut up. Let the character make a mistake. Let me notice it on my own. Let the story happen. The original Avatar Last Airbender trusted children on Nickelodeon after school to understand complicated ideas about genocide, war, abuse, family trauma, propaganda, redemption. I didn't finish season 2. I couldn't. And don't get me started on live action Moana. Made me want to yeet myself directly into the sun. Seeing The Rock in a wig, whoever did that, where's the firing squad? Can we bring back public? Okay, too far. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm telling you guys, when I watched the trailer, I thought it was AI. I'm not, people say that like as a euphemism or to be, like I genuinely, when I saw The Rock in that wig, I thought it was AI, okay? I wanted to crawl out of my skin. I felt embarrassed. I don't know who I was embarrassed for. The actors, the studio, human civilization as a whole. I was like, no way, this is the real thing. From Disney, okay? Disney. And according to the numbers, this movie cost around like $250 million, and its opening weekend was roughly like $43 million domestically. Are you kidding me? Good. I'm sorry, but good. Maybe audiences finally looked at one of these and said, no, I had the original at home and the original is much better. Like, why would I pay $25, $50 if I want a beer and some freaking popcorn to watch the same movie with worse visuals, less expressive characters, the music, everything is worse. And I think this is kind of where things get uncomfortable for me, because we all love watching people destroy these movies online. I sure as hell do. I'm guilty, okay? There is something deeply healing and cathartic about watching a 2-hour video essay calmly explain why a terrible show is terrible. Yes, quarter them, flog them, like publicly. I saw a hilarious thumbnail that said, the live action Moana was so bad it made me hate the ocean. And I laughed. I laughed for like 5 minutes straight. Oh my God, they're fantastic. Like, I'm not, like, I watched every single one of them. It's not the point of this video. Y'all crack me up. Like, I'm sorry, it's just too funny. I need Taco Bell. At this point, I just need some carbs. Where's my phone? Hold on, I need some Taco Bell therapy. And if you're gonna judge me for liking Taco Bell, then you just have a weak immune system, and history will forget your lineage. Be like, oh, Taco Bell makes me sick. You're weak. Anyways, but the question at this point with these live actions is whether hate watching is still feeding the studios. Because a ticket purchased angrily is still a ticket, right? A streaming view fueled by hate watching is still activity on the platform. And even when people don't watch the actual project, the constant conversation gives it cultural relevance. For example, like when a trailer releases, everyone's reacting to it. The casting's announced, everyone's giving their takes on, oh, is this good casting or bad? Like, everyone's reacting to it. And then the movie or the show finally premieres and people are reacting to it. The reviews come out, people react to the freaking reactions. And then someone reacts to the person reacting to the review. Like, at some point, nobody even likes the movie, but we've collectively spent 6 hours talking about it. And one thing that Hollywood understands is attention. They may not care about what the attention sounds like if we're saying, this sucks ass. They care about the thing that is dominating the conversation. Bad publicity is still publicity when your entire business model depends on staying culturally unavoidable. And I understand the creators who make the content. I do. For a lot of them, it's their full-time job, okay? A terrible Disney remake can give someone like weeks of material. That can like take care of rent for several months. Like, I get it, okay? But meanwhile, recommending a beautiful independent movie, it might get them like 1/6 of the views, which we've seen. I understand the incentive of making that content. I'm not judging smaller creators or even bigger creators for just paying their rent. But there's a strange contradiction when somebody says they desperately want these adaptations to stop while producing 57 videos about every single adaptation. In every episode, in every interview about that said adaptation. At some point, your financial stability depends on Disney or these studios continuing to ruin things. Like, you are praying for the collapse, but also for the renewal announcement, like kind of at the same time. And I feel like it's a very dangerous place. If a channel's entire value is based on being furious about whatever came out this week, what happens when there's nothing left? Do you introduce audiences to something good, or do you have to find a new reason to be furious? I don't think that creators by any means need to stop reviewing bad movies. Please continue. But I do think that criticism should occasionally point elsewhere or somewhere. It has to. Because if you have millions of viewers and you spend an hour explaining why a project is garbage, please, for the love of all that is good and holy, recommend something that's not garbage. Tell people, if you wanted this kind of fantasy story, watch this instead. Or if you wanted like a great female character like they try to do with Ahsoka, here is one who's actually written like a human being. If you wanted a thoughtful family movie, go check out this project or support this. Like check out this filmmaker who's doing something original, or this YouTuber, I don't know, like, because otherwise all we've done is create another enormous advertisement for these corporations. A very angry advertisement, but it's still an advertisement. I'm in advertising, okay, I get these things, I'm just saying. And I appreciate deeply, like I really do appreciate critics who recommend good projects because that actually influences behavior. I think one example of this is Critical Drinker. Like, I know the Critical Drinker is controversial, I get it, whatever. You don't need to like begin roasting in the comments, but he has recommended projects that I probably never would have discovered otherwise. And I watch them because at this point, I trust his judgment. I kind of know the types of project that he leans towards and what his taste is. And I do find him to be fair across the board. My point is that that has value. Okay, Critical Drinker, he doesn't say, oh, this is terrible. Every once in a while, he does say, but this project is worth your time. Or he'll highlight some other project that is fantastic. I think more creators, especially the really big channels, should do that and need to do that. Because if you build your entire audience around hating bad content, you become dependent on bad content. Your most successful business outcome requires storytelling to remain awful. And stories that you probably love. Sounds terrible. So that's my 2 cents, like what we should do from like a content creator perspective. But what should the rest of us do? Us normal viewers, for the people who do not need to watch these movies for work. Like, do we just stop? Honestly, yeah, maybe. Not as some freaking boycott or some crap like that. I do think we need to stop watching out of obligation. A studio using the name of something that you love does not mean the new project deserves your support, and refusing to watch does not mean that you stopped loving the original. For me, refusing to watch is sometimes the only way that I can protect what I loved about it. I do not need Netflix's Avatar to replace the animated version. It won't. Never. I don't need Disney's Ahsoka Tano or their Luke Skywalker. The stoic woman who had no personality, I don't know who that is. The miserable creature drinking blue milk on an island, can remain over there. Don't know that man, don't know that woman, I do not know them, okay? But not watching, I feel like, is only half the answer. Because if we stop consuming franchise content, where does our attention go? We do need alternatives. I do know that there's independent studios, there are smaller distributors, some international movies, like there's animated projects that are not ashamed to be animated. There's books. But genuinely, there are original stories everywhere. They just do not have the marketing budgets of a Disney or a Warner Bros, Netflix, and freaking, I don't know, video game stories are better these days. I've seen a couple from Angel Studios. They've released a number of shows and movies that I've enjoyed. I've heard of like A24. They produce some good work. Some of it's kind of like, but at least they're willing to take a risk. Personally, I would rather watch an ambitious original movie fail than watch another technically polished, recognizable remake with absolutely nothing inside of it. Failure is not the worst thing art can do. Being completely unnecessary is much worse. I'm like, give me something weird, something sincere. I'd rather spend my limited free time rewarding somebody who took a risk than keep crawling back to the same 3 studios while they piss on me and tell me that it's rain. I do believe we are part of the problem. Not because audiences are responsible for these studios making bad art, of course not. Okay, studios make those decisions, but we do decide what receives our attention, and our attention is valuable. Please do my Taco Bell. Yes, that's my Taco Bell. I'm so hyped right now. Let me tell y'all one thing. Out of curiosity, the nacho fries slap. They slap puppies. Oh, they're so freaking good. Oh, I hate when they break my straw. Baja Blast. By the way, did y'all see during the World Cup, all those Europeans having Baja Blast for the first time saves lives. Oh, thank you, God. Good. Oh, shh, I just got shit all over the road. Guys, don't look at the stain. It's a Taco Bell love stain. Y'all are just gonna have to love me as I am. Anyways, okay, let me refocus. So, I feel like the real damage of the live action remake era is not simply that a lot of bad movies were made. Bad movies have always existed for all time. For me, the damage is that I no longer trust these studios. Now, when a studio announces an adaptation, I immediately wonder, did they watch it? Do they understand the characters? Are they about to completely rewrite the stories and then accuse the audience of being racist or blah, 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 for like noticing or for like calling them out or saying it's trash? Will the lead actor spend the entire press tour explaining why the original was actually problematic and stupid? Because that has happened enough times that I now treat contempt for the source material as part of the marketing plan. I do not understand that. Why accept a role in a beloved story and property and then spend every single interview explaining that you never liked the property? GTFO, bro, like leave, head out. There are other jobs. Release yourself from this burden, excuse yourself. and then release us from the burden of seeing you. These studios have revealed that they do not see stories the same way that audiences do. We see the characters and the meaning and the memory. We see something very special that shaped us as children or as adults. All they see is recognizable assets that can be activated. They see a title that immediately has brand equity and awareness that they can monetize. They see a vulnerable audience that they can emotionally manipulate into showing up. It can't hurt me if I refuse to acknowledge it. Hey, I've already started reading. Don't make me take up crocheting. Because after more than a decade of horrible remakes, we should not still be surprised when the newest one is horrible. Like, why are we still acting surprised? At this point, horrible is baseline. It's the default setting, my guy. The question is no longer, when will they get it right? Maybe the question is, why are we still waiting for them to get it right? They've shown us what they care about. Money, recognizable franchises, and intellectual property. They care about exploiting recognition until there is absolutely nothing left. So who still cares about stories? I think we need to find those people, support those people, give them our views, our conversations, our reviews, our recommendation, because studios may own the legal rights to these franchises, but they do not own our time. So that's where I'm at. I gotta eat some carbs. I'm all worked up. Thank you. God bless.